Oke. Ini siapa punya kaki baby nih? Nurul Izzati kah? Okay, very good afternoon to all. Once again, we're meeting for the class, online class for SSF 3044. We have one more week before the mid-semester break, I think. Right? So, yeah, and then after that, you have Hari Raya holiday and 1 week break lah, at least for all of you. Oke, minggu lepas kita telah bincangkan tentang globalisasi, right? Globalization and development, all right? We look at the process of globalization, the history, and also how globalization has in different parts of the world, and also how some countries have benefited a lot from globalization. Yeah, jadi itu we can consider globalization as a strategy and also an approach to development as well. Okay, so I think most countries are now engaged in or involved in some kind of globalization in different forms, maybe, yeah, but it has affected almost every country in the world. Okay, so one good example was the the video that we shared last week by Professor De Soto regarding the impact of globalization or lack of it, yeah, in different parts of the world, right? Some countries may have been left behind because they could not or they don't have the infrastructure and so on, yeah, to be able to tap the benefits of globalization. Okay, so this week we will look at another approach or theory, if you will, berkenaan dengan pembangunan, yeah, on development, and that is dealing with the issue of participation, yeah, participation in development, right? Tapi sebelum itu, is there anything that you want to discuss with me? Ataupun ya, I need to discuss something before we go to the lecture. Yeah, let me share this one. Your first assignment I have received. The only thing is that there's one student. Right? So I was asking if you know what happened to one student by the name of Aini Nadira binti Adeni. I have not heard from her. Ataupun kalau dia ada di sini attending class, please let me know. She doesn't seem to belong to any group, yeah. As far as the group assignment is. Okay. All right. So that's for that missing student. And then the other one that I wanted to share. Okay, this is your second assignment, and this one is actually asking you to come up with a video ataupun similar presentation lah. It could be video atau you have. I know some of you are very creative, so you can resort to maybe a different format, yeah, of presentation. Yeah. So what you are required to do is to choose, yeah. And by the way, the M, saya besarkan sedikit ya. Oh, sorry, that's too big. Okay. Okay, so the aim of the assignment is for your group to demonstrate, ya, untuk menunjukkan bahwa kamu faham, ya, your kefahaman kamu ataupun your understanding on the different approaches of development programs, ya, ataupun dalam pelaksanaan sesuatu program pembangunan. So an academic presentation with, for example, a seminar or webinar or whatever it is, yeah, must be clear on the concepts and ideas and must be presented to showcase your scholarly research, right? So that's the M. So the what you do is, these are step-by-step guide for you to for your second assignment. First of all, your group will have to choose one development one development approach, ataupun if you decide to have two pun okay lah, ya. One development approach or approaches you have been taught in class, okay. Contohnya top down, bottom up. Just an example, maybe the other approach we've seen early on, ya, tentang teori ekonomi dan sebagainya pun boleh, ya. So just choose one. Maybe another example could be dependence, ya, dependency theory ataupun approach to development, for example, or something similar, ya. So choose one and then find a development project. Ini kena tanyalah, kalau tak tahu mungkin mak bapak boleh tolong, boleh bantu, ataupun kawan-kawan, ya. Find a development project, issue ataupun either in the nation or something that is happening internationally or in other countries or local, right? If you know of some kind of development going on in your area, for example, in one of your areas, then you can pick that as your project lah, right? So the third one is imagine, yeah, you try to imagine that your group, your team has been asked to implement ataupun roll out the development project. In other words, to implement the project lah, untuk melaksanakan bangunan berkenaan. Alright, so imagine that. So things that you should do is, you, for the assignment, you explain, yeah, explain the reasons why your group, in other words, justification, yeah, reasons or justification why your group choose a particular approach, ya, a particular approach atau kamu pendekatan yang kamu pilih tadi, why you choose that, the rationale to carry out the programs or roll out the project tadi, okay, and then explain how the approach, ya, bagaimana, jelaskan bagaimana pendekatan berkenaan ataupun the approach which you employed would benefit ataupun would affect the development program. How will it affect the development project ataupun program that your group is implementing or plan to implement. Okay? Nah, ini dah mula nak bekerja sebagai pegawai lah ni. Nak memikirkan macam mana untuk melaksanakan projek, ya, dan mengambil kira ataupun menggunakan konsep-konsep ataupun pendekatan yang telah kita bincangkan dan akan kita bincangkan masih lagi, ya, termasuk hari ini dan juga minggu depan dan sebagainya. So the deadline I have tentatively put 18th May here for the date of submission of the video presentation. So what you do is to submit the file, the video file online, right? Submit it to me through Ellipse, So each group just submit one video lah, right? So this is a group work, so you have to work together to come up with a video presentation. So it can be, for example, a video of your berkenaan dengan how you plan, how you're going to carry out, apakah rational behind the rational behind choice of the approach that you're going to use to carry out, to roll out the project tadi. Any question on that?
No, Doctor.
Okay, boleh fikirlah. It's quite related to what you have been doing last week also. Cuma kali ini, if last week you were looking at, I'm sorry, not last week. In the first assignment, for example, you each group identified a certain issue or problem ataupun isu-isu pembangunan lah, right? So maybe for this second assignment, it may be related to that one. If you can relate it to that lah, how to solve that problem, for example, what kind of project or program should be implemented, to solve the problem that you have identified in your project one ataupun assignment one, for example. Or it could be something new, it's up to you, if you think you can find a real project pun boleh, betul-betul project yang sedia ada, di in your place, dekat kampung ke, dekat bandar ke dan sebagainya, ataupun sesuatu projek ataupun satu isu ataupun projek ataupun program yang kamu pernah baca, contohnya in some other countries or other state, for example, pun boleh pakai, Okay, so think about that, So each group will have to discuss, within your group with regard to this assignment. Okay, so kalau ada soalan boleh jelaskan, jawab sekarang ini. So the evaluation is just on your presentation, so there's no writing, ada written assignment di sini. What you have to submit, the product that I expect from you is video ataupun that presentation tadilah, right? Okay, boleh. This is also 20% lah of the total marks, Alright. So kalau tak ada soalan, saya pergi kepada kuliah hari ini,
Doktor, saya ada soalan, Doktor.
Aha.
Okay, so Doktor, yang video presentation ni, kita kena present ke semasa buat video tu atau?
You record, that's what I'm saying. You record the presentation.
Okay, so we must record ourselves in the video.
And all that lah.
It's a pre-recorded one lah, Doctor.
One, yes.
Okay. So make sure we must record ourselves, Doctor. If we never record ourselves, we record with the voice, with the presented, with the slide, something like that.
Yes, at least what you can do is to gunakan Zoom dan Webex kah, whatever it is, whereby members of the group boleh nampak di situ dalam video, for example, ataupun during the presentation tu, which you record lah dalam membuat presentation tu, you record, jangan lupa record sebab nanti kalau tak direkod tak ada video pula, kan?
Okay.
Dia buat untuk nota kamu lah, my recorded lecture ni, that's one example lah.
Okay, so kita kena find satu develop project. So
Doktor,
kumpulan kami kena cakap pasal develop project tu, berkaitan isu-isu project tu semua. Kami kena bincang. Yang bincang tu kami kena record.
Correct.
Okay, doktor.
Why you choose that project? Yeah.
Why you choose? What is the issue? The something related to the national, international, everything. Make sure we discuss. The discuss things must record.
Yeah.
Right, doctor.
That project, the project tu doesn't have to be all apa nama 3 criteria lah. Cuma mungkin ianya satu project nasional,
Okay.
ya, federal project ke, ataupun just council punya project, for example, ya, project DBKL, project apa nama ni Kuching apa nama municipal council, city council, for example, ya, contoh-contoh macam tu lah.
Okay, doctor. Understand.
Alright.
Okay, something new project like project 1, the 1 MDB.
That one is too big lah.
Yeah, just okay, doctor. We understand something, a new project that related with this kind of issue.
You can as a group, as a planner, you can, you know. So yeah, something
Okay,
something manageable lah. Yeah.
Okay, doctor. Thank you. Thank you.
Yang besar-besar tu tak payah. Small
Okay.
one, ya.
Thank you, doctor.
Alright. If you do have any question later on, you just let me know lah. Ya. Ya, the second person tadi yang soalannya apa? There was another person, yeah.
chat doktor, ada dalam chat.
Dr. Erisayu tanya, what kind of development project?
It can be anything. I'm sorry. It can be land development. It can be housing development. It can be what else? Maybe some kind of development to deal with unemployment, for example. Right. So it depends, ya. Kalau di bandar mungkin projek apa nama ni yang berkaitan dengan masalah banjir sebagai contoh, ya. So that is one example lah. Youth problem, for example, masalah belia ataupun macam-macam lah, ya. So are you
Okay, dokter. Ada satu soalan lagi, dokter. Can I ask is what to relate with first assignment or can choose for another issue?
You, as I said just now, you have the choice. If you want to link it to your assignment 1, also can. If you are planning to have a new one, it's okay too. Ya. So boleh buat yang baru ataupun you nak kaitkan dengan assignment 1 pun boleh. Tak semestinya ada kaitan dengan assignment 1 lah, maksud saya.
Okay, dokter.
Alright.
Thank you, Doctor.
Let me see your chat. Sekejap. You mentioned about the chat.
Sure, Prof. Sure.
Okay. That one is already answered. What kind of development project? Any kind, ya, any kind of development project. Tapi projek untuk rakyat lah, sama bandar ke ataupun luar bandar dan sebagainya. Alright. Projek boleh. Projek apa nama tu bekalan air bersih pun boleh, ya, depending.
Prof, sorry. Video tuh ada limit timing tak?
Well, no more than kalau boleh limit to maybe 10 minutes the most.
Okay, dokter.
Jangan panjang sangat.
Okay, doktor.
Okay.
Dalam 10 minit tu panjang kot. Atau boleh let's say 15 minutes, maybe the maximum.
Alright.
Tapi jangan pendek sangat. Pendek sangat tu dah introduction dah habis dah 3 minit dah. Kan? So just be reasonable lah in terms of that. Jangan sampai 2 jam pula. Okay? All right. So, okay, that's the first one. So, okay, that one second question for Tian. Already answered already. Can you record yourself separately and combine it together? Yes, you can. In other words, some of you may know how to do it. I don't quite know how to do it. Where you edit each of your component and then sambung ya sebagai satu presentation. I'm responding to Irisayu Sipaun ya on your second question. Okay. All right. Oke, kalau tak ada lagi, kita pergi kepada kuliah hari ini ya. Alright, so again start recording from now. Nanti macam minggu lepas saya terlupa pula. Oke, sudah start ke recording tadi. Anyway, let's stop this one. Stop sharing. Oops, that was recorded just now. Anyway, okay, never mind. So, all right, so we go to the lecture for today, which is on, the presentation for today. Participation in development, yeah? Participation in development. Okay. All right, so what is so important about participation in development? That's the issue that I'm going to deal with in this afternoon's class. Yeah. All right. So this is what we will go through more or less for this afternoon. Hopefully, I can cover all this topic. First of all, I'm going to look at the concept of participation, and then go deeper into participation as in development, and then specifically we'll be looking at one of the approaches to development known as the participatory development approach. Yeah, participatory development approach. And then we will look at some of the justifications why using participatory development approach and what are the benefits of that particular approach. And one of which is empowerment, right? Empowerment. So we look at that concept of empowerment, what it is, and also related to that, participation is ethno development or from the word ethnic, which means that the development for certain for the ethnic group or kumpulan-kumpulan ethnic tertentu, right? Okay, in other words, based on the people, needs and all that. And then the last one, which is quite lengthy as well, is on the issue of rights to development, rights to development ataupun apa namanya, what is right in BM?
Keadilan. Kita.
Harmonis.
Hak.
Ya, hak ke atas pembangunan, alright. Lebih-lebih lagi dilihat dari segi the indigenous people, for example, the local community, and so on and so forth. Jadi itulah merupakan the order of the presentation for this afternoon's class. Okay, so what is meant by participation? All right. If you look at the dictionary, the one that I have, with me is the Oxford Dictionary, which defines participation as to have a share in, ya, to have a share in ataupun ada bahagian more or less, or to take part in, right? To take part in something. Okay, so in other words, it refers to the action or state of taking part in something. Yeah, taking part in something. It could be taking part in games, taking part in decision making, in planning, and so on and so forth. Right. So participation is a concept that is used in a variety of fields, a wide variety of fields, and that larger range of meaning as well. So di maknanya berbeza mengikut apa nama konteksnya, ya, or the fields in which it is applied. Yeah. Okay. So, for example, in terms of development, participation would be seen as the involvement of people. Yeah. In a project or in a development programs, in terms of planning for it, in terms of implementation, and so on. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at some of these images here. Yeah. Tengok-tengok gambar ni. For example, this one. Is this a form of participation? All right. This guy here, maybe from the government agency, and this person is probably a local person lah. Could be the leader of the community or what, yeah. And I don't know about the other, the lady on the other side could be one of the apa nama ni staff yang mengikut ni. Jadi isu di sini adalah where the people are involved in mapping, yeah, in mapping the community, right? So participation. So I mean, being somebody from outside the community, for example, as a government officers and so on, you probably do not know the local condition as much as the local people. So you have to verify, you have to map it out, yeah. Where are the various places, various resources, and so on and so forth, yeah. All right, another one, also this is some kind of some form of participation as well. Nah, ini apa? Ini macam ada convocation, right? Participation of people in some kind of meeting or formal discussions and all that. Yeah. All right. This one, the third one is has to do with the farming community, for example. Yeah, participation from the local farmers, and some of these individuals may be researchers and so on. Yeah, government officers who doing their work, but at the same time they involve the local people as well. Ya, ini dalam projek-projek pembangunan memang biasa dilakukan, ya. Where, for example, in the research dealing with paddy or rice, for example, right? So there is a need for that kind of participation going on. Ya. Okay, this one, kat mana agaknya? Sekolah.
Dekat sekolah.
Sekolah, betul. Sekolah mana? Most probably in Afghanistan ataupun somewhere along that region, I think, right? Well, this is participation in class, right? Even in class, even at a young age, yeah, that participation, yeah, of students in class activities and so on. This one, siapa kenal ni?
Ni nampak macam Myanmar.
Okay. Yangon. You know this person?
No.
Ah.
I'm talking about the place. That person I don't know.
Okay. This Tun Mahathir's daughter.
Oh, okay.
And this was somewhere in KL. I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, can't remember, or maybe 3, 4 years ago, where they have this street, what I call demonstration against or to protest
Protest.
government policies on all that. Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but that she's one of those, right? Also street protest. Yeah. What else? Another example, right? This is from the union, or rather, what is it? Official picket, yeah. Right? In Western country, this one, ini mulai nampak ada government official macam seorang member parliament or something like that, and meeting some local people. It could be before the election or something, right? Or some kind of consultation. And this one, of course, right? Participation in voting rights, and participation in elections, yeah, to choose the government, for example, yeah, or representative. This one is in Africa lah. An example of community participation regarding certain project, ya, ataupun isu yang dibincangkan dalam meeting tersebut. And this is quite common in some of the African states. They don't even have a building, to hold a meeting. So just have mempunyai satu tempat di luar kawasan, di luar rumah, bawah pokok, and then they have it there. And that's quite common, in those places where these are local people, and these are probably some of the officers ataupun pegawai kerjaan dan sebagainya. Right, so that picture more or less tells you about the concept of participation, and also how it play its role, in terms of development as well. Okay, so the FAO ataupun farmers, I think it's called Farmers Agriculture Organization, or FAO's definition of participation, and this is from the agriculture point of view, right? Where the participation is seen as a process, suatu proses of equitable and active involvement, equitable and active involvement of all stakeholders in the formulation of development policies, untuk membentukkan polisi kerajaan ataupun pembangunan, formulate the policy dan juga strategi, and as well as in the analysis of the problem or the needs, or issue, and also planning for the implementation of the programs, planning to involve untuk membuat perancangan apakah strategi sesuatu yang aktiviti yang perlu dilakukan, and then the implementation is where you actually carry out the activities ataupun strategies, and then the monitoring is where it involves trying to monitor, trying to assess, the process, untuk menentukan ianya berjalan dengan lancar ataupun untuk menentukan sama ada masalah, if there is any problem in the implementation and so on, and need to be solved, so on, yeah. And then of course the last one is the evaluation of the development activities, whether or not the development activities or the program is able to achieve its objective, ya. Contohnya untuk menyelesaikan masalah dalam sesuatu community. Alright. So it is also referred to as an organized effort, sesuatu yang dirancang, ya, organized effort within the institutions and also organizations, so as to increase stakeholder access and control. Jadi some keywords, ya, increase stakeholder itu termasuklah pihak-pihak yang berkenaan, yang mempunyai interest, ya, particularly the community, for example, ya, di rakyat, ya. So increase their access and also control over the resources, ya, resources ataupun whatever, ya, yang ada di dalam ataupun di dalam community tersebut, ya, sumber-sumber yang ada. So access and control over the resources and related decision making, ya, that contribute to sustainable livelihoods. Jadi itu mengikut FAO punya definition, right? So some keyword is it increase access and control. It allows for the local community to be involved in decision making, yeah, and for the active involvement as well, ya, dalam formulation of policy, dalam membentuk strategi, dalam mengenal pasti masalah ataupun isu, dan terlibat dalam implementasi sampai ke tahap untuk menilai keberkesanan suatu program ataupun projek pembangunan. So, in the context of development, participation is a process, or can be seen as a process through which all members of a community or organization are involved in and have influence on decisions. Yeah. So all members of community organization are involved in and have influence on decisions related to development activities that will affect them. Ya. Jadi yang penting di sini, this is probably what you should be done actually, that the local people or members of the community should be involved, yeah, in the planning, in the decision making. For example, in decisions of what kind of project should be planned for and should be implemented in a particular area and so on. Yeah, so you get the feedback ataupun mendapatkan pandangan, ya, daripada community ataupun orang tempatan ataupun organisasi yang terlibat before the project is going to be implemented. I tell you the reason why that is important later on. Yeah? One of which is that if you involve the local community in planning, in decision making, and so on, that helps to increase the success rate of the project in their community. In other words, when they're involved, then the likelihood that the project ataupun satu project itu dapat dilaksanakan dengan jayanya adalah lebih tinggi, ya, daripada project di mana mereka langsung tidak ada dilibatkan dalam decision making and all that. Okay, so this implies that development projects will address those community or groups need. Nah, that's the basis, ya. Karena project-project tersebut adalah bertujuan untuk membantu ataupun menyelesaikan masalah community ataupun kumpulan berkenaan, ya. So we'll address those community or group needs on which members have chosen to focus. Yeah, that's why it's important that the members of the community chosen or that's the one that choose to focus their effort on. Yeah, and that all phases of the development process will be characterized by the communities or members active involvement of the community ataupun organizational members. Right? So itu yang the justification ataupun why participation is so critical and important in the development project ataupun. All right. So below are some of the core features of participation. One, it is voluntary, right? So people who participate in planning or decision making and all that are people who are voluntarily involved, yeah, bukan dipaksa, in other words, yeah. So they are not forced to, but they voluntarily engage themselves, yeah, in the proses, ya. Dalam contohnya dalam mengenal pasti masalah ataupun isu, kemudian membuat perancangan tentang apa yang sepatut dibuat dan sebagainya. They involve themselves voluntarily, bukan secara paksa. Keduanya, people who participate influence and share control over development initiative. Itu yang penting. Those people who participate, they can influence and also share control over the development initiatives, the decisions, and also the resources as well. It is also another core feature is that it is a process of involvement of people in different stages of the development program. Jadi dalam program pembangunan ada tahap-tahap tertentu, ya, different stages. The first one is the identification of the needs ataupun keperluan ataupun isu, right? Because that is the basis for the development program. Right? Kalau kita tidak menentukan masalah ataupun isu sebenarnya, nanti program-program yang dijalankan itu mungkin tidak mendapat sokongan daripada orang tempatan, because they're not interested in it if it doesn't solve the problem. Nah, itu yang penting, ya. Jadi mengenal pasti masalah, kemudian untuk membuat perancangan ataupun planning. Mungkin tak semua, mungkin wakil daripada community yang terlibat, but at least there are some form of all levels of participation from the community, from the local people, for example. And then the implementation of the project, for example. Sometimes it needs the local participation for the project to be implemented successfully. And then also another stage is to monitor the progress. Then last but not least is to evaluate the impact of the program. Telah mencapai sasaran, telah mencapai objektif, dan sebagainya. Okay. And the ultimate aim of participation is to improve the well-being of the people who participate. Jadi tujuannya tidak lain, tidak bukan, orang katakan, orang politician suka kata seperti itu, is to assist, is to improve the people's livelihood, the well-being of the people who participate. Jadi tujuannya untuk membantu mereka. So when they are involved, they be more serious, yeah, in terms of participating in the project, and also to make sure that the project is going to be successful, right, successfully implemented. Okay, so now that leads us to the concept of participatory development. Participatory development yaitu merupakan satu pendekatan, ya, satu pendekatan to development, ya. So it is an approach. All right. So let's look at participatory development. Right. So what do we mean by that? there is no single definition, yeah, of participatory development. There's so many definitions of it, but generally it can be seen as a bottom up, yeah, bottom up ataupun people-centered approach. Yeah, in other words, it comes from the bottom, from the local people, yeah, and therefore it is people-centered lah, and it goes up, yeah. So seen as bottom up, people-centered approach, which are aimed at developing. The aim is to develop the full potentials of people at the grassroots level, yeah, at the grassroots level. Peringkat akar umbi lah, especially the poor, the marginal social groups, through their full participation in development efforts, yeah, which are directly affecting their livelihood ataupun their life. Yeah, so it's bottom up, people-centered approach, and also believe in the value of participatory approaches in action and research. Yeah, so believe in the value of participatory approaches in action and research. Yeah, dalam for example action research, for example, ya, menggunakan ataupun melakukan sesuatu dan juga dalam melaksanakan dan juga membuat penyidikan atau kajian sebagainya. So bottom up, people-centered approach. So one of the things regarding participatory approach is it enables ataupun it help to empower people, yeah, particularly the local community, yeah. So participatory approaches is quite similar to empowerment approach, but they do have a little bit of differences. They have similarities, but they also have slight differences between the two. Okay, so let's look at the first of all, yeah, between the two approaches. Participatory and empowerment approaches are quite similar in their focus tadi, yeah, on the interdependence between the individual and also the context within which the project atau program dilakukan, ya. However, they have a little bit of differences in that empowerment. Actually, the aim of empowerment itu dalam bahasa Malaysia apa maknanya? Memperkasakan. Is that right? Memperkasa. Yeah. So empowerment aims to bring about social changes. Ya, tujuannya untuk membawa kepada ataupun berlakunya social change, perubahan sosial. Which will benefit the disadvantaged, the oppressed group, ya, in society. Ya, itu kumpulan-kumpulan yang kecil, kumpulan yang kurang unfortunate people, disadvantaged people. So the empowerment is to help this group, ya, to empower them, to memperkasakan mereka. Right, so empowerment is a little bit beyond, yeah, beyond just encourage people to participate, but it goes beyond that, ya, untuk memperkasakan, ya. So active participation, for example, implies that people commit themselves, yeah, and develop skills to make decisions. And act in ways that positively affect their lives, yeah, and help them achieve the social goals that are important to them. Yeah, they are of importance. Jadi active participation membolehkan mereka untuk membuat membuat keputusan ya, they have the skill and they can act atau melakukan sesuatu secara positif yang boleh mengubah keadaan mereka lah secara positif, ya, and achieve their goals in life. While as empowerment can be conceptualized as something which is long-term, yeah, a long-term social process whereby people will move from a state of being dependent, right? State of being dependent, powerless, and passive. Ya. Jadi empowerment adalah daripada state dependent, powerless, tidak ada kuasa, tak boleh membuat keputusan dan sebagainya, dan everything mereka ni dianggap sebagai passive, ya, menunggu sesuatu dan sebagainya yang tidak mengambil tindakan, ya, secara aktif, ya, kepada satu keadaan. This is where the empowerment is, towards a position of control, yeah, that's empowerment, and also having the competence, yeah, kebolehan, and also power. That's the keyword lah, empowerment tadi kan, right? From so empower people from being dependent, powerless, and passive to being in a position of control, boleh membuat kawalan, and then also being competent in what they're doing, and also they have the power to make decision, yeah, for themselves. Okay, so itu kaitannya antara participatory dan empowerment process. So there is a lot of similarities lah, but if I were to which one comes first, I think probably participatory dulu, kemudian barulah ada empowerment after that. Yeah. So in the development projects, for example, with regard to rural development, yeah, for instance, participation will include people's involvement in decision-making process in terms of the in implementing the project ataupun program, and dia sharing in the benefits, ya. Jadi ya, of course yang penting adalah mereka mendapat kebaikan ataupun benefits, ya, from the development program, ya, and their involvement in efforts to evaluate the SAS program. Ini mengikut Cohen and Uphold 1977 lah. Jadi it's all about all the stages, all the phases of program development, yeah. So decision making process. Okay, so participation of local people in the decision making process, implementation, and also in the evaluation of the program. So in terms of community participation, it is seen as an active process by which the beneficiary, yaitu yang mendapat keuntungan lah daripada proses tersebut, ataupun client groups, influence the direction and execution of the development. Jadi mereka ni community ataupun people in the community will be able to influence, ya, in terms of the direction ataupun ke arah mana dan yang perlu dilakukan, dan juga bagaimana the execution itself, ya, atau development project itu dilakukan, ya, with a view of enhancing their well-being ataupun untuk meningkatkan taraf hidup mereka in terms of income, in terms of their personal growth, in terms of their self-reliance, and also other values. Yeah, ini according to Paul in 1987. Right. So you have seen actually the beauty ataupun the benefits of participation, yeah, community participation, individual participation in development project ataupun programs. Now, this is some example. Yeah, I've seen these pictures, examples of community participation. Yeah, so community participation, according to WHO, World Health Organization, refers to the process by which people are enabled and become actively, genuinely involved in defining the issues. Jadi itu defining the issue itu satu tahap yang pertama sebenarnya dalam stage of program development tadi. First stage to identify the issue of concern to the people, and then making decision about factors or things that affect their lives, and then formulate and implement the policy pun strategies tadi in planning, developing, and also the delivery of services, ya, in taking action to achieve change. Jadi itu dilihat dari segi the health organization. Jadi contohnya untuk menyelesaikan masalah kesehatan, ya, di dalam even now issue of COVID-19, for example, right? How do we involve the community? I think it's very pertinent that that community participation must be there. Ya, kalau tidak, masalah COVID-19, for example, will be very, very difficult to solve once it affects the community. So we have to involve the community, and they have to know, yeah, what are the benefits of certain actions, yeah, that needs to be taken and so on. So they have to be involved in the planning, they have to be involved in the implementations, yeah, and also the delivery of the services as well. Yeah. Ini contoh-contoh saya kata tadi. This is in Africa, so that is where they have the gathering. This one is probably, I don't know, could be Philippines or somewhere in Asia, right, where they do have some kind of participation by the community. And if you notice this guy here, I think is the officer showing people how to. I mean, this is a project tentang mushroom, ya, mushroom kulat, ya, yang boleh dimakan lah, ya, mushroom farming, and showing the people in terms of demonstration how to go about doing it, yeah, how to do it, and how it will benefit the community in terms of yang mendatangkan. I mean, first of all, it is a source of food for them. Secondly, it can be a source of income, yeah, for the community. Right? So itu contoh, ya, tentang community participation. All right. So perhaps that probably rings bells in you, reminds you, maybe you have noticed something, yeah, in your own area and so on, yeah. Okay, so what are the levels or stages of participation? Participation ini ada beberapa tahap sebenarnya. Ada yang hanya terlibat pada peringkat rendah, peringkat awal, kemudian yang lain-lain itu tidak, ya. Some people may be involved from stage 1 all the way to stage the final stage of the process, for example. All right, so there are levels or stages of participation. The first one is known as the passive. Passive meaning they're very passive, they're not really involving themselves, yeah. This is where the beneficiaries ataupun orang-orang yang sepatutnya mendapat manfaat daripada project ataupun program tersebut, basically they welcome the project proposal, ya. Pegawai kerjaan datang, kemudian dia they will brief the local people what the project is, ya. Okay, so the local people welcome the proposals and support them, but are generally cautious ataupun kadang-kadang they are even suspicious, ya, tak berapa percaya sangat, ya, in relation to the project management. So ini peringkat pasif lah, ya. So they're not really involved, ya. Dia terima, dia coba sokong, tapi generally dia ada rasa takut, rasa uneasy and so on and so forth. Ya. Yang keduanya adalah where maybe through some kind of awareness on the project ataupun program, they become involved, ya, increasing involvement. That's stage 2 atau where the beneficiaries begin to develop more trust in the project, ya, ataupun the management itself as well, and more contact with its activities and also its staff, and they may also begin to take on some responsibilities. Tak banyak tapi ada, ya. So that's increasing involvement. That's stage 2, ya. Stage 3 pula is where it is called active participation tadi, ya. Active participation, and this is where they play the role of active partners, ya, active partners. Jadi mereka merupakan sebahagian daripada ataupun partner dalam projek berkenaan, not just recipient, ya. So active partners in the project's implementation and development, ya, and also they assume more responsibilities ataupun increasing responsibilities. Nah, itu yang ketiga, ya. Ya, seterusnya adalah which is the highest lah. Jadi kita lihat tadi berkenaan dengan awal tadi tentang participatory dengan empowerment process ni. So they are quite related, ya. Cuma ya empowerment ataupun ownership ini is probably the highest lah, ya. Ownership or empowerment. And this is where the beneficiaries are both willing and also able to sustain and further develop the initiative begun by the project. In other words, when the project ended, for example, yeah, I mean, if the project, for example, 1 year, ya, contohnya lah, project tanam sayur sebagainya kan, just a short term project. By the time the project ended, jadi staff daripada Jabatan Pertanian dia dah tolong, ya, bantu, and then local people participate in the project. So after 1 year, tak ada lagi. But what is about ownership and empowerment is where the project will be continued beyond the the first phase tadi lah. In other words, they will continue the good, ya, for the good of the community. Jadi tak berhenti setakat selepas mendapat projek yang pertama. In other words, this is where the empowerment comes in there, the ownership of the project. All right, so those are the 4 stages of 4 levels or 4 stages of participation, yeah, from being passive, yeah, to some level of involvement, and then very active, and then eventually the highest level is where they own the project, yeah, ownership ataupun empowerment tadi. Okay. All right, so let's look at the participatory development approach closely, right? In terms of the development of this approach, actually it only emerged in the 1970s. So what happened before that anyway, ya? Apa yang berlaku sebelum itu? Apa yang berlaku adalah kebanyakan projek-projek ataupun kebanyakannya adalah top down. Top down meaning it comes from the top. It comes from the government. It comes from the policy maker, for example, right? So whatever is planned from the top, from the ministry, and then to the department, and then it goes down to the local community. That's how things have been, yeah, before that. But by the 1970s, people realized that the importance of community participation, yeah. Jadi participatory development approach ni is quite recent actually, yeah. So by the way, according to BMZ 2002, BMZ itu refers to dalam bahasa Jerman sebenarnya, ya, in Germany, which stands for the Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development in German term lah. In short, it is called BMZ ataupun BMZ, which states that participatory development is a process which involves citizens active and in all decisions that influence their lives. These are the keywords here. Yeah, involve the citizen actively and in all decisions, and whatever that they are doing is going to affect their life, the influence their livelihood. Right. So participatory development stands for partnership. Partnership between the implementers, the program planners, implementers, and also the local people. Yeah. So stand for partnership, which is built upon the basis of dialogue among the various actors. Ya, jadi memerlukan dialog among various actors, termasuk contohnya kalau projek pertanian ataupun buat jembatan ataupun projek bekalan air bersih contohnya. Right, so the various actors are people who are from the department, people who are like the engineers and so on, the local community leaders, and also the local people as well. Right, so those whoever are considered as the partners. Yeah. So during which the agenda is jointly set. Jadi agenda is jointly set. Ya, ditentukan bersama. Importantly also local views, ya, pandangan orang tempatan, and also indigenous knowledge. Ya, indigenous knowledge ini adalah the knowledge of the local community. In other words, ya, taken into account or deliberately sought and respected. Jadi dalam very importantly the value the knowledge of the local people, right? The indigenous knowledge. Okay, and respected. Now, let me tell you a story. I don't know if there is any body here from ataupun di Mukah lah mostly, ya. Mukah area, the famous crop in Mukah is what? Apa tanaman yang paling popular di Mukah? Bukan Mekah, Mukah.
Kaul.
Ya, itu pesta makanan apa nama ni?
Sagu.
Tanaman.
Makanan.
Bukan makanan, tanaman.
Oh, tanaman. Sagu.
Sagu ya, sagu ya. Sagu palm ya. Jadi sagu palm ini it produce sagu flower dan sebagainya kan, dan dibuat sebagai makanan, right? Staple food among the Melanau, for example ya. Jadi ceritanya begini, ada orang some officers ataupun researchers ya, who were trained overseas dan sebagainya, ada PhD lagi, buat satu kajian ya di kawasan tersebut bagaimana untuk menanam pokok sagu ini ya. Tapi itulah masalahnya, mereka ni dia gunakan scientific knowledge which they learn from the books and so on ya. Jadi dia orang tak faham ya, tak faham tentang the indigenous knowledge of the local people. Mereka ni telah mengusahakan contohnya sagu palm ini dah beberapa tahun, mungkin sampai 100 tahun ya, some of them ya, in a family lah I'm talking about ya. Tapi untuk seorang farmer itu mungkin adalah 30-40 tahun, so they know ya, way to plant and how to take care of it, pokok sagu. Jadi yang saya herannya adalah this particular officer, dia buat eksperimen. What they did was dia buat parit dan sebagainya, ya, tanam dia macam seperti tanam pokok kelapa sawit lah sekarang ni, ya, in a swamp. So dia buat parit and so on. Jadi at the end of the day, pokok yang dia tanam itu tak jadi. You know why? Because that's not how sago palms grows. Ya, sago itu memang suka kawasan basah. Ya, you don't have to drain it. Kalau you drain it, then the land will be dry. Then the plant ataupun the crop will not be growing. Jadi masalahnya adalah even us, the local people, the indigenous people, ya, in terms of the knowledge of planting ataupun taking care of sago palm. Itu cerita lah. Right, so the importance of indigenous knowledge. Banyak lagi sebenarnya tentang indigenous knowledge ini, ya, isu-isu kesihatan, isu-isu apa nama ni, local plants and process and so on and so forth. Okay, so what is 3 development approach? So this implies that negotiation is taking place rather than dominance. Yeah, so some form of negotiation rather than the dominance of an externally set project agenda. Jadi bukan sesuatu yang dibawa daripada luar, more or less dipaksa, ya, dilakukan di situ, more or less macam cerita tadi, ya, without consulting the local people. Okay, so local people become actors instead of being beneficiaries. Ya, jadi bukan saja sebagai beneficiary, but they also become part of the project management ataupun terlibat dalam pelaksanaan projek tersebut. Nah, itu mengikut OECD 1994 punya artikel. Okay, any question? Right, so participatory development seeks to engage local populations in development projects, and most manifestations or forms of participatory development seek to give the poor a part in initiatives designed for their benefit. Jadi tujuannya untuk kepentingan mereka sendiri, untuk kebaikan mereka sendiri, ya, orang tempatan, for the poor people, dengan harapan in the hopes that development projects will be more sustainable, supaya projek tersebut dapat bertahan ataupun sustainable and successful if local participations are engaged in the development. Right? So it is often presented as an alternative to what was used to be the top-down development approach. Jadi dulunya sebelum 1970s lah, this top-down development approach was the common approach used. Ya, maknanya orang tempatan tak tahu, dianggapkan kurang tahu ataupun they don't know much and so on, so they're not involved. Yeah? So orang yang di kementerian dia banyak tahu tentang sepatutnya, so which is not necessarily so lah, ya. So we have to listen, we have to involve the local people in other words. Yeah? Right, the two perspectives that can define the participatory development, one is social movement perspective, from that perspective, and the other is from the institutional perspective. The one that is the social movement perspective is quite popular. Yeah? From the social movement perspective, the participation is seen as the mobilization ataupun defined as the mobilization of people, yeah, to eliminate just hierarchies of knowledge, power, and economic distribution. Okay? Jadi tujuannya untuk mengurangkan, ya, kalau tak try to eliminate, totally eliminate ataupun mengurangkan that hierarchy, power hierarchy, knowledge, ya, that and also in terms of economic distribution. So from this social movement perspective, it identifies the goal of participation as an empowering process, satu proses memperkasakan, ya, orang ataupun people to handle challenges and influence the direction of the online. Jadi tujuan at the end of the day is for the people themselves to be able to handle the problems and the challenges and determine their directions, ya, in terms of their life. Okay, di macam satu pepatah orang putih lah yang mengatakan give a man a fish, he will eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish, it will last him a lifetime. In other words, itu macam lebih kurang macam tu lah, ya. If you teach him, you know, how to fish, for example, he can find fish for the whole of his life. Tapi kalau kita hanya bagi dia apa nama ni ikan, dia akan lepas habis makan habis. Ada similarities lah, right? So empowering process is better than just, for example, giving and so on. Yeah. All right. So empowerment and participation is when primary stakeholders are capable and also willing to initiate the process and taking part in the analysis. So this will lead to some kind of joint decision making about what should be achieved and how. Jadi kita from this perspective tadi tujuannya adalah supaya orang tempatan ataupun local communities will be involved in the decision making process and also about what should be achieved, ya, apa yang perlu dicapai, perlu diperolehi, dan juga bagaimana untuk mencapai ataupun untuk mendapat sesuatu tersebut, right? So they're involved in decisions. Ya. While outsiders are equal partners in development effort, contohnya jabatan ke, pertanian, company dan sebagainya, ya. The primary stakeholders are the primus inter pares. Primus inter pares ini merujuk kepada people who are equal partners. Ya, they are equal partners. Tak ada yang lebih, tak ada kurang. Ya, so in other words, the department, the officers and so on are seen as equal partners. Ya, bersama dengan orang tempatan. Right? In the decision making concerning their lives. Ya. So dialogue identifies and analyzes critical issues, and an exchange of knowledge and experiences leads to some kind of solutions. Yeah? Right. So ownership and control the process rests in the hands of the primary stakeholders. Jadi apa maksudnya? The ownership, yeah, and control the process adalah terletak di tangan primary stakeholders. One of which is the local people, the local community sebagai primary stakeholders. Right. The other stakeholders could be the ministry ataupun the government agency yang terlibat dalam melaksanakan projek-projek berkenaan ataupun companies, ya, syarikat dan sebagainya can become primary stakeholders as well. Tapi mainly the local people. Yang keduanya adalah looking from the institutional perspective. Yang pertama tadi from social movement perspective, the institutional perspective pula melihat participation as the reach and inclusion of inputs, yeah, by relevant groups in the design and implementation of the development project. Yeah. Participation in the reach and inclusion of inputs by relevant groups. Yeah? And then the institutional perspective uses the inputs and opinions of the relevant groups, right, or stakeholders in the community sebagai satu alat, ya, as a tool to achieve a pre-established goal defined by someone external to the community. Jadi yang ini yang menentukan matlamat ataupun goal tadi adalah seorang yang luar daripada komuniti berkenaan. Ya, this is from the institutional perspective. Alright, so the advocates of participatory development emphasizes that emphasize the difference between participation as an end itself, and also participation PD as a process of empowerment, for marginalized population. So if you look at from the first one, yaitu dari segi end itself, yaitu matlamat itu sendiri, participants here may be asked to give opinions without any assurance that this opinion will be or will have an effect or may be informed of the decision after they have been made. Jadi mereka hanya sebagai penerima, right? So they will be asked in terms of opinions, but there is no assurance, tak mendapat kepastian bahawa opinion mereka akan diambil kira, in other words, ya. And in the process of empowerment punya proses, ya, proses empowerment, the proponents assert that the PD ataupun participatory development tries to foster and enhance people's capability, to have a role in society's development. And that I think we have more or less look at that early on, through process of empowerment. Jadi bukan saja sebagai penerima, tetapi mereka juga terlibat, secara langsung, dan and they have gone through the learning process as well to develop themselves as well. Institutional approach ini sebagai contoh dalam participatory development was employed in initiative which involved the process of content creation, content creation. Contohnya UNESCO's funding of a voice project, Project Voice, which employs ICT for Development Initiative. Jadi dalam projek tersebut apa yang dilakukan adalah the local content creation and distribution contributes to the formulation of local information networks. Jadi konten itu datang daripada orang tempatan, and distribution will contribute to the formulation of the local information networks. So this one is a bottom-up approach which involve extensive discussions, dialogue dan sebagainya, and decision making with the target community. So melibatkan orang tempatan dalam decision making, and the community group members create the content ataupun the content sebenarnya kandungannya according to their capacities and also interest. So that's the thing, Jadi bukan orang luar yang menentukan konten, tetapi orang tempatan, right? Bergantung kepada kebolehan mereka dan juga minat mereka. So this process facilitates the engagement with the information and communication technology. Jadi yang dari luar tu menggunakan teknologi lah, membantu mereka ni with the goal of strengthening individual and also social development. Right. So this participatory content creation, for example, is an important tool for poverty reduction strategies and also creating digitally inclusive knowledge society. So you can actually use this. In fact, in our place here, the technology is there, but the local content boleh diperolehi daripada orang tempatan. Okay, so that may be effective. So even dalam campaign kita untuk memerangi COVID-19 also, I think so what you can do is to also include maybe a similar approach, dengan menggunakan institutional approach tadi, Okay, so so those are the two ways you can go about with it. So from the institutional perspective, for example, there are 4 key stages of development project. First one is the research stage, where you do a little bit of research, and then after that, after the research, the information you get from research, you design the project, and then you implement it, and then you evaluate it, right? So dalam apa nama ni, from the social movement dia ada berbeza sedikit. You don't really do research, but you do some kind of apa nama analysis of the needs and so on, ya. Mendapatkan pandangan daripada orang tempatan. Okay, so the IP ataupun can also be referred to as the project-based perspective. Yeah, project-based perspective. Okay, now this is an example of what is not supposed to be. Yeah. All right. So what do we have here? On one side, in the yellow house, the local council, they have the planners, they have the experts, yeah, local council, yeah, they plan and so on and so forth without consulting, without talking to the local people, right, who are going to be the beneficiary, right? So these people, they have their own ideas and so on, yeah, and yeah, so this guy is right. Kata, hey, they should be talking to us instead of just talking to themselves or discuss among themselves, because we have our own knowledge, perhaps we have our information which probably they don't know, ya. Jadi itu yang penting lah. Apa yang keperluan yang mereka hendak tidak diketahui ataupun kurang diketahui oleh pihak yang membuat perancangan, ya, program. Jadi itu masalah di sinilah yang digambarkan dalam kartun ini, right? So dalam dalam participatory development, it should be these people working together with the local people, ya, right? So berbincang, ya, bersama dan menentukan matlamat dan juga bagaimana sesuatu projek itu dijalankan, ya. Okay, so alright, so why participatory development? It's because of what happened in the past, lah, yeah. Before the 1970s, there were a lot of, I mean, in some countries, there are several projects implemented, but some failed, yeah. So failure of past development programs, which were aimed to improve the quality of lives of people, of the program, people of the programs were basically designed for. Yeah, jadi itu why among the reasons why the need for participatory development, because of past failures. Yeah, past failures, kegagalan yang terdahulu. Right. So the perceived failure of economic growth model, for example, to bring benefits to the majority of the people. Ianya, I mean, if you look at the model of development, ya, yang telah kita lihat earlier on, ya, this development, including globalization, for example, benefits certain people, some countries, but the majority are still do not get the benefits of it. Nah, itu contoh lah, ya. So failure of economic models to bring benefits, ya. Also one of the reasons behind participatory development, and also emerging vision of world where rights of all people are assured. Ya, ini benda yang baru, ya. Yeah, where the rights of every people or all people are assured. Civil, political, social, and rights to action citizenship, yeah, to be engaged in participatory and deliberative democracy. Jadi keperluan, ya, untuk melibatkan setiap orang atau all people, ya, that's the right to development, ya, civil, political, social, and so on. Yeah. Right. So if you see the difference between the previous development approach and the participatory development approach, you could see it this way. I've more or less summarized it here. For example, the previous development approach, which is basically bottom up in many ways, right? Is that first of all, it is expert knowledge. In other words, scientific maybe expert knowledge from those who occupy higher position, for example, in the ministry, in the department, and so on. Yeah, right. So this is from the expert knowledge, and then it is top down, from the top to the down. So in other words, it's planned from the top and forced down ataupun implemented, ya, at the community level without consulting ataupun without any dialogue with the local people. And the recipients of development, yeah, the local community, for example, are treated as passive and conservative, ya, sebagai penerima saja, tanpa penglibatan mereka. On the other hand, the participatory development, it's from the local knowledge. Yeah, local knowledge is important and often sought, yeah, by the planners and so on. Yeah, and it is very much a bottom-up approach whereby people are consulted, the local communities are involved with the planning, yeah, of the project and so on. Yeah, they have dialogue, right? And also they are treated as the center. Okay, so the local people are treated as a center, active, and also seeing the situation from their own point of view rather than from the expert. All right, so that's the main differences between the two or the previous approach to development and the participatory development. Right, so it is a new concept, a new approach, yeah, participatory development, which emerged quite recently, relatively quite recently, after the 1970s. So, okay, so what are the advantages of people's participation? According to Oakley in his article 1991, the first is that it increases efficiency. Yeah, participation can ensure effective utilization of available resources, money, and also other resources, yeah, time as well, right? So it can increase efficiency through people's participation. People's participation also can make increase effectiveness, yeah, can make different programs more effective, giving them a say or granting them a say in deciding the objectives and strategies, and also by participating in the implementation of the project, thereby ensuring effective utilization of the resources, mainly the local resources, for example, right? Right, so effectiveness. Thirdly, it also helps in increasing self-reliance. In other words, people will be self-reliant, tidak bergantung kepada orang lain, for example, ya. So with active involvement of the local people, local community, it is possible not only to break the mentality of dependence, but also to increase their self-confidence and the control of the development process, right? Self-reliance. And then another advantage is in terms of the coverage. Yeah, in other words, people participation can be a very good way or potent way the flow of benefits to the target groups or the target population, and this is to ensure that all the resources are available for wider coverage of the weaker sections of society. Yeah? In other words, the coverage will be bigger, yeah, if you involve the local or through participatory approach. Importantly, also, it can improve sustainability right? So generally, development interventions are funded by government or by donor agencies, right? Most cases, lah, right? So the involvement of local people in the project, yeah, and also the utilization of the local resources, termasuk sumber manusia, lah, yeah, it can generate a sense of ownership, yeah, over the development interventions, yeah, to the people. Okay, so this sense of ownership, which is remember empowerment tadi, is essential for the sustainability of the intervention ataupun strategi tadi, ya, even after the external funds cease to flow. In other words, when the project ended, so through this ownership, the similar strategies or similar activities will still be continued beyond the the end of the period tadi. Okay, so in other words, sustainability of the project. But also there are some negative views or disadvantages on participative development, right? Ada walaupun kita telah melihat kepada beberapa kebaikan, advantages, benefits of participative development, there are some negative views ataupun maybe can be considered the disadvantages of participative development. Yeah, one is when people are involved, yeah, when local people are involved, local community involved, participation can cost them time and also money. Yeah, in other words, when they are engaged in meetings, discussion and all, they have to take their time off from their farm, from their normal, economic activities, for example, right? So it costs them the time and also money as well, yeah, because to them, anytime they're not working, they're not earning, they're losing money, yeah, then they're losing the income and so on. And also the time the involvement dari segi perbelanjaan yang digunakan untuk terlibat dalam program tersebut. Okay? So that's the first one. So that's one negative aspect. Another one is that there is no guaranteed impact upon the end product. Jadi walaupun participation itu bagus, tetapi there is no 100% guarantee that it will be successful, yeah, in terms of the end product tadi, yeah, it's going to be 100%. Okay, you may achieve maybe 70% or 80%, but 100% kalau dapat itu baik, but there's no guarantee, yeah. And also ada orang mengatakan bahwa talking, dialogue, and so on is a waste of time, right? So might as well just start the project right away instead of having dialogue, having a discussion, and so on. So losing time for talking, and also it may destabilize the social organization. Social organization yang berada dalam sesuatu komuniti tersebut, ya. Ini mungkin berlaku disebabkan oleh some are involved, some are not, yeah. Some are favored over the others and so on and so forth, ya. Jadi itu mungkin akan menyebabkan sesuatu bukan konflik, tetapi some form of destabilization, ya, dalam social organization tersebut. Kemungkinan, but well, it may happen, yeah. And also danger of shifting the burden to the poor. Kadang melihat bahawa orang tempatan, local community itu, very active, suka dengan projek tersebut, and then yang menjalankan projek tersebut, yaitu the implementer ataupun the planner tadi, lepas tangan. Right? In other words, they leave everything to the local people. Itu yang ditakutkan lah, ya, for fear that they may just shift the burden to the poor people. Pas tangan saja, ya. Okay, so those are some of the some of the small things lah, ya, disadvantages ataupun yang kurang baik ya, berkenaan dengan bukan kurang baik tapi yang ya some of the weaknesses ya. But overall participative development is good ya, is good. Okay, we take a short break now. Itu bukan tajuk kuliah. We take a short break for maybe 5 minutes and then we continue after that. Boleh ya?
Ya, boleh.
Okay. Berhenti sekejap, rehat sekejap.